Wrapping up the Second Amendment. Basic civil liberties include the right to keep and bear arms, and that right is not to be infringed upon. In a day and age where Americans are relying more and more on their feelings and passions and fears in order to form opinions and arguments and policy, the Second Amendment was still adopted to ensure we held onto the rights found in the First Amendment, the liberties that make the American way of life possible, a way of life Americans have enjoyed and, frankly, have taken for granted. The Second Amendment demonstrates our founders were able to recognize the need to limit their own power against the people. Maybe because they were the people at the time, and power had yet to accumulate to the central governing authority. We like to believe that those in power today are the same as us, but they are not. Instead of checking their own power, they play on your and on my emotions and passions in order to consolidate power unto themselves. No one believes that the murder of innocent people is ever right. And when many of us have voluntarily handed over a right, out of ignorance or fear or ineptitude, we start believing that it should not be a universal right, simply because we don't want it for ourselves. And we start believing that someone else, some greater entity or force, is more capable than the individual to decide who should have rights, because we would never want that responsibility or burden on ourselves. So we, for some reason, hand that determination over to government. But when the entity the Second Amendment was adopted to protect the American people against is the same entity intent on infringing on that basic right for securing liberty, this should be alarming. Do you believe the government knows better than you whether you are fit to defend yourself against them? What do you think? Where is the balance found between securing our liberty from our own government versus the fear of the wrong people bearing arms? What would your solution be?